Hello there and welcome. We're going to be talking about something that is absolutely vital for a lot of UK business owners, getting your hands on that HMRC tax check code. This whole guide has been put together by the expert tax advisors over at ProTax Accountant. They're one of the UK's most trusted accounting firms, so you can be sure you're getting the right info to get through this with zero stress.
So let me ask you a question. Imagine it's 2026. Your license is up for renewal, and bam, your application is completely blocked. Your entire livelihood just on hold. And why? Because of a little 9-character code you didn't know you needed. Now, if you're a taxi driver, a private hire operator, or a scrap metal dealer, this isn't just some scary story, it's a reality. You'll want to stick with me here because this is something that catches so many people out when it's just too late.
So, to make sure that doesn't happen to you, here's our plan. First, we'll look at what this code even is and why it's so powerful. Then, we'll talk about the key to the whole thing, your government gateway account. After that, we'll walk through getting the code, what to do with it once you have it, and, super important, what to do when things go wrong. And then we'll wrap up with your next steps. Right then, let's get straight into it. A code that stops your business, what's that all about? In this first part, we're going to break down exactly what this thing is and who really needs to be paying attention. Getting your head around the what and who is the first step to making this whole thing a breeze. So, what is it really? Well, it's just a 9-character code, a mix of letters and numbers. You can think of it like a digital thumbs up from HMRC. It's their way of telling your local council, yep, this person is registered with us for tax. All good. It's not about how much tax you pay, just that you're in the system. The whole reason for this is to make sure everyone trading with a license is also playing fair on the tax side. And believe me, it is absolutely a mandatory part of renewing your license. So, who exactly needs to worry about this? If your job's on this list, you'll want to listen up. We're talking taxi drivers, private hire drivers, the operators who run those services, and scrap metal dealers, whether you've got a fixed site or you're a mobile collector. Let's make it real. Say you're a taxi driver in Birmingham. When it's time to renew your license, the council is going to ask for this code. If you don't have it, you don't get your renewal. It's as black and white as that. And here's a detail that trips a lot of people up. The rules are different for first-timers versus renewals. If you're applying for your very first license, you can breathe easy. You don't need a full tax check. You just have to read some HMRC guidance online and tick a box. But, and this is the part you really need to hear, if you are renewing your license, the tax check is 100% mandatory. You have to get that 9-character code to move forward. Okay, so let's get down to the practical side of things. Before you can even think about getting the code, you need the key to your online tax office. And that key is your government gateway account. This is the absolute foundation for everything. If you don't have one, or you've long forgotten the login details, this is where you need to start.
All right, think of this as your prep list. Before you sit down to do this, I really suggest you gather these bits and pieces. Having your national insurance number, a recent payslip or P60, and your passport right there with you is going to make this whole thing so much faster. HMRC needs this stuff to prove you are who you say you are. So, honestly, feel free to hit pause right here and get all your documents ready. Now, setting up the account is actually pretty painless. You just go to the gov.uk website and follow the links. They'll send a code to your email to verify it. You'll pick a password and a recovery word, and that's pretty much it. When you're done, you'll get a 12-digit government gateway ID. Pro tip, treat this number like it's gold dust. Seriously, save it somewhere super safe because you're going to need it every single time you need to deal with HMRC online. Right, you've got your government gateway account all sorted. Fantastic. Now we're on to the main event, actually getting that tax check code. With all the prep work done, you'll see this next part is surprisingly quick and easy.
So here's what you do. You log into your government gateway account, and you look for the option to complete a tax check. The system will then ask you a few simple questions. It's not a test, don't worry. It's just confirming things like how you pay tax on your earnings. For example, if you do a self-assessment tax return. Once you've answered those, assuming everything's in order, the system generates your 9-character code instantly, right there on the screen. The whole process can literally take just a few minutes. Now listen up, because this is a massive point from the team at ProTax Accountant. It's so important you get this. Your accountant can be a lifesaver. They can help get your books in order and make sure you're registered correctly. But they cannot do this check for you. You and only you can log in with your personal government gateway ID and complete the check. It's basically a personal declaration. So get all the help you need to prepare, but be ready to do this final step all by yourself. Okay, brilliant. You've done it. You have your 9-character code sitting in front of you. But what happens now? This next bit is all about crossing that final hurdle.
using the code the right way so that all your effort doesn't go to waste.
120. Remember that number. That is the number of days your tax check code is valid for. So what does that mean? It means timing is everything. You want to do the tax check fairly close to when you're actually sending in your license renewal. Don't do it 6 months in advance, and you'll definitely want to hear what happens if it expires.
Because if that 120-day clock runs out, your code is basically useless. You can't just reuse it or ask for a quick extension. You have to go all the way back to the start, log into your government gateway account, and do a completely new tax check to get a new code. It's a simple rule, but it's one that could easily hold up your renewal if you're not paying attention. Now, let's break this down because it's a question that comes up a lot. If you hold the same type of license in a couple of different areas, say you're a taxi driver licensed in both Manchester and Salford, then great news. You only need one code for both of those renewals. But if you're applying for different types of licenses, maybe one as a driver and another as an operator running the business, then you need to do 2 separate tax checks and get 2 completely unique codes, one for each type.
Okay, let's be realistic. We all know that technology can have a mind of its own sometimes. Things can and do go wrong. So in this section, we're going to look at the most common bumps in the road you might hit and give you a simple guide to get you moving again. Let's start with the absolute classic problem, one we've all been through. You go to log in and nothing. Your mind is a total blank. You can't remember your ID or your password. First things first, don't panic. It's almost always fixable.
The fix is built right into the sign-in page. Just look for a link that says something like problem signing in. From there, you can choose what you need. Recover your user ID, which they'll send to your email, or reset your password. You'll just have to answer a few security questions to prove it's really you.
All right, the second big headache people run into is the 2-step verification. You know, when HMRC sends a code to your phone to let you in, it's great for security, but what happens if you've lost that phone? Or maybe you've just changed your number?
The first thing to check is if you set up a backup method, like maybe through the HMRC app. If not, look for an option that says, I can't access the verification code. HMRC will then ask you some extra questions to check your identity. This is where having your national insurance number handy is a real help. And remember, if you're really truly stuck, you can always call the HMRC customer helpline for more support. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here. What the code is, how to get it, how to use it, and what to do when you hit a snag. So let's pull all of that together now and talk about your next steps and where you can find expert help if you need it. If you only take one single thing away today, let it be this. This tax check is not optional. It is a mandatory step you have to take to keep your license. But as you've seen, it's also a pretty simple digital task that only takes a few minutes, as long as you're prepared. And remember, it's something you have to do yourself. It's all designed to keep your business running without any nasty surprises. Now, the check itself might be simple, but it all depends on your tax affairs being in good shape before you even start. If you're not 100% sure everything's correct, getting professional advice is a really smart move. The team at ProTax Accountant can look over everything and give you peace of mind before you log in. You can get in touch with them on WhatsApp or by phone at 07985 689 912, or just drop them an email. And for a full written version of everything we've talked about, check out the link to their article. And just before we go, the usual disclaimer, please remember this is all for general guidance to help you understand the process. Your own financial situation is unique, so it's always best to speak with a professional like ProTax Accountant before making any big decisions. Thank you so much for watching, and for more clear, practical tax advice just like this, please make sure you subscribe to the ProTax Accountant YouTube channel.